Okay. Can you guys hear me on YouTube and Facebook? Let me know, please.
Can't hear you on YouTube.
Oh, I ain't talking yet. Okay. Can y'all hear me now? I'm sorry. I'm so sleepy. I have to talk, I guess. Yeah, see. Can you hear it now? You see, I didn't even start doing any commercials, guys. I just come right into it today because I am pooped.
Yeah, we hear you now.
Okay, good. So the sound is there, right? Okay. Oh, the background. This is the class. Let me put the right background up. I'm gonna fix my hijab. Lord. Oh, I'm lopsided. Oh, okay. That's what happens when you don't have any sleep. Wait a minute, let me fix the right background. This is diluting while I were better. Okay, hold on. That's it. Okay, hold on. Okay. By the way, guys, before I begin, I told you guys, the sisters here sent me some beautiful pictures. You know, I told you guys we have 4 people, 4 sisters in Antarctica. Remember I told y'all that, family, that we got 4 sisters in Antarctica who are here following us and learning from me. And I was, they sent me some pictures. They work for the government. They're scientists. Now, for those of you who don't know this, I didn't know this because, I don't never know anything about Antarctica. Only thing I can tell you about Antarctica is it's Antarctica. That's it. But the sisters sent me some beautiful pictures of where they live. They said it's always cold there, and the only people that live in Antarctica, she said, are people who work for the government. They're doing science and all that stuff. And so these 4 women, they converted to Islam. They're new converts. And they converted to Islam from some other platform or something. And they said that they came upon my stream. They saw my shorts. And subhanAllah, my shorts, the way I break the religion down so easily. And they sent me these pictures of how they live there. They don't have, how many of you knew this? They don't have any cities or towns or anything like that because it's so cold there. She said Antarctica is one of the coldest places. She said it's the South Pole. And, but she lives in something called Murdoch or something. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Murdoch. That's owned by the United States. She said different countries have their scientists gathered in Antarctica. She said, Switzerland has their people there, Japan, China. And so they all live in their compounds, and they're researchers that study wildlife science and all that. They study wildlife, these four women. And so the compounds are like apartments. And she sent me pictures of how it looks where she lives. And she said the largest compound is the one that America has. It's called Murdoch or something. I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sure. And she sent me the pictures. It's like little buildings. But she said nobody just lives there forever. They're there. The people that are in Antarctica are there for a reason, either doing science or studying wildlife, something like that. So that's something interesting. I didn't know that. Did any of you know that? Antarctica, that's the one continent. She said that's the one continent that no country owns and that people don't live there. The people that are there for science, and each country has its compound. And she said it's nothing but ice, lots of penguins, polar bears, stuff like that. And she says it's extremely cold. So I want to thank these four women for coming here to learn. And they were telling me that they do allow visitors to Antarctica. And they would love to, there are people that come there as on a tourist group. And they said they would love to bring me there as part of a tourist group from America so I can see how Antarctica is and how it's that one continent on the earth that man is still exploring to this day, which I didn't know that. So alhamdulillah, I just want to give a shout out to those four Muslim women. They're all scientists. They're scientists and they're studying wildlife and stuff like that. And you know me. Y'all know what my question was. I had to ask them. When they sent me these pictures and stuff of what they do, I asked them, are there any black people there? It may sound silly, but I asked them, are there any black people there? She said, and they emailed me back and said, yes, there's lots of black scientists and black nature people. She said, yeah, there's black people here too. Alhamdulillah. So may Allah bless these four women who are scientists here working for America. They're doing a lot of government research on wildlife and stuff like that. And like I told them, be safe. And by the way, they had COVID there too, because I asked them that too. I asked them, are there any black people there? And of course they said, yes, there are black scientists. And then I asked them, what about the COVID? She said the COVID hit everywhere. They said the COVID hit everywhere, including them in Antarctica. The compounds went through COVID really bad too, So, subhanAllah. And she said, get your booster shots. She said, everybody that works for the government, they require them. She said, and where she's in Antarctica, the United States government requires you to get the boosters because of, that pandemic. So that's just good food for thought, for me to, that I thought was important and I like to share with you guys. So on that note, let's get started on the class. Helped wake me up. Yeah. It's Antarctica, Sister Rashida. They're in Antarctica, the continent Antarctica. Yeah, nobody lives there. Everybody that's there is working for the government for their country. They're in I think she said it's Murdoch, some place called Murdoch. That's what the United States have. But they got, Sweden has theirs. United Kingdom has their thing. Japan, China, every country has their little compound where they're doing their research. Okay. So let's get started. Inna alhamdulillah wa salat wa salamullah wa rasulullah. This is where I cut it. Welcome to the first class for today, which is our Aqidah class. And we are studying from the book entitled Diluting El-Wala Wal-Bara. Diluting El-Wala Wal-Bara. And we've been speaking about the strangers. The strangers. And just to see if everybody is paying attention, who are the strangers? When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke about the strangers, who can tell me who are the strangers? Who are these people? What is it about the strangers that sets them apart from others? Anyone who would like to try to answer it today? Anybody in the Zoom room? Who are the strangers, people? Come on, I told y'all yesterday I was going to ask it again. Okay, I don't have anybody.
The strangers.
Okay, go ahead.
The strangers are the people who are upon. Hold on, I wrote it down. The strangers are the people who are upon the traditional way of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those are the companions. Those are the four leaders after him.
Okay, so the strangers are the companions and the four leaders after them. That's what the strangers are.
No, the stranger are who are on the traditional way of our prophet. So who follows what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with, the way the understanding his companions had, the understanding of the four righteous leaders behind him came with. So those are the strangers who had the understanding that they had and uphold what we have. So basically, let me see. So basically, the ones who hold firmly to what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did and said, those are the strangers who uphold honor and what I wrote down here, who uphold. Yeah. I don't know if I put it there.
Okay.
I just try to explain it to.
Okay. All right. Good job. She put a lot of stuff together, but she still didn't tell me who the strangers are. And she sounded like she's saying that the companions are. Okay, let's look on here. Precious said the companions are those Muslims who have the understanding of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the first three generations. What understanding of theirs? Every time I ask this, boy, I told you I'm going to ask this question every day till y'all can get it out y'all mouths better. Cool. Anybody else? Sakina, she said the strangers are those that understand and live by the traditions and teachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his companions, and the three generations that follow. No, the two that follow. Okay, write this down again, guys. Y'all got to get it together. Who are the strangers? The strangers, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was referring to us, the later generation of Muslims. So I want y'all to write that down first. Number one, who are the strangers? The correct answer is they are of the later generation of Muslims who uphold what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with, which is the traditional Islam. They practice it and implement it in accordance to the understanding that he had and his original companions had, and those first four leaders that came after him had. That's how y'all answer. Y'all gonna still have to work on that. So the strangers are us, the later generations, those of us who adhere to the true Islam. So what about this? What about this? A lot of people ask the question, as you guys know, here at our website for the past week, last week, subhanAllah, as I was teaching here, we were being bombarded by brothers. I don't know what's going on from other YouTube channels or whatnot, calling themselves Ash'ari, and all of this, you know, these Ash'aris. And then we always are under attack by the Qadariyah. Who are they? They're the ones that don't believe in the hadith and got a problem with the Qadar and all of this nonsense. Because this nation has divided and into so many different sets, over 73 sets. You know, this is the answer to the question that Brother Abdullah sent me. He said, Sister Laila, why is it that Muslims today are using all these different terminologies? You know, like Salafi, you know, Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat. That's an Arabic phrase that means we are upon the Sunnah. You know, we're like upon the understanding of those companions. But just because a person says that they're Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat doesn't mean that they are. Because those innovators claim to be Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat, but they don't believe in the qadr of Allah. Or, you know, they're like these Asharis that's been coming in here. You know, so subhanallah, this is why you will find people today using the term Salafi. But even that group has now divided into over 29 different sets too, from what I understand. Salafi is an Arabic word, and it is not a noun. It's a verb. It's an Arabic word that translates into English to mean that I am living my life the way that those original companions led theirs. Is basically saying that I am upon the understanding of those original companions. So that's where that term Salafi came about, you know, to try to differentiate yourself. Just like before, the term Sunni came out to differentiate yourself from the Shiite. Well, the Salafi term came out to differentiate yourself from the different types of Mutazilite, the different Kharijites, and all of that out there. Okay. But even that term has now divided up into different crazy sets. Okay, but to answer this brother's question here, you're Muslim. We're all Muslim. That's the name Allah gave us. Allah is the one that said, I have perfected your religion for you and chosen Islam, which is total submission. That means total submission to Allah. And what does the Arabic term Muslim mean? It means one who submits to Allah. That's why all the prophets, they were Muslim. Adam alayhi salam was Muslim. Abraham, Muslim. Moses, Muslim. Jonah, David, Solomon, Muslim. They all submitted to Allah, and their religion was Islam. They lived their lives in total submission to Allah. So what do you call yourself? You call yourself a Muslim because that's what Allah named you. And that's the best name of all. Now, all these other terms about, you know, like Salafi and all of that, you ain't got to use those titles. Because if you truly are, we can tell from your actions. We can tell from what comes out of your mouth. You can listen to a person for 5 minutes and tell, you know, if they're following or practicing this religion with the understanding of those companions. And yesterday, if you guys look on Facebook and also on my YouTube channel under community tab here on the YouTube channel, I came upon a post yesterday from a brother that I don't even know, but evidently he listens to my classes, my lectures. I don't know why. I have, even though my dawah is geared towards women, I have more male followers than women. You know, 69%, looking at my YouTube stats, 69% of the people that watch and interact with me here are men. Most women don't want to listen to me. Makes sense. Women are jealous. We're envious of each other. Just like they didn't want to listen to Aisha, radiyallahu anha. Even after Umar appointed her as the fiqh scholar of marriage and women issues, they still were going to Ibn Masud. They were still going to everybody but her, the women were, because of that jealousy. So I'm not surprised to see that most of my followers are men, okay? But subhanallah, guys, I posted that thing up so you can see. I don't know who this brother is, but evidently he was here when my website was under attack a few days ago by these men who call themselves Ashari or whatever. You know, by the way, stay away from them. Bad group. Stay away from them. All you need to know is stay away from them. Okay, also like the Qadariya, stay away from them. But alhamdulillah, yesterday when the other brothers came here, y'all can see what that brother posted. This brother, I don't know, you know, he's Arabic, and he's also, he claims to be an Islamic scholar. I don't know, I never heard of him, but y'all see what he posted up. He went on the internet and posted that thing encouraging all women around the world to come and learn from me. Did y'all read it? Did any of you see that, Mina? Did you see that post?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, he was encouraging all. He said he's been an Islamic scholar and teaching for over 25 years, and he's never heard, a Muslim woman, you know, called to the true Aqidah like me. And he would put that out, asking all the women to come here to learn their deen, because I'm teaching y'all the pure Islam. I'm teaching y'all the true Islam. Okay, so I thought that was nice, and that's why I shared that with you guys, because I don't get to hear that many good comments like that. We're always bombarded, you know, by these innovators and deviants and whatever they are. I don't know. But I posted that up, and I posted it up to also show you guys, you can recognize the truth. If a person is teaching Islam, if they back up everything they say, that's why I use PowerPoint. If they back up everything they say with authentic hadiths that clearly address whatever they're speaking about, that's how you know that they're speaking the truth. Okay? And that's why I stand by my PowerPoint, because I don't make this stuff up. I don't make up these hadiths. I don't make up the history. The history was already done, and history repeats itself. And by the way, what y'all see happening today on the internet with these different sets and different groups coming into your stream, fighting, debating, and calling you kafir, this is not new. History just repeats itself. This happened during the time of the companions too. During the time of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, those Kharijites and Mu'tazila, they were around then. Okay? The Qadariya, they were around then. Cursing the companions, hating on the companions. They played a big role in the murder of Uthman. They're the ones that created all that fitna, turned Ali radiallahu anha against Aisha radiallahu anha and had them fighting. And while Aisha's on the battlefield on top of her camel, they were aiming at her, trying to kill her. And would have, had not Ali had his men go and cut her camel's legs off and bring her to his tent to safety. So these people have always been around, you know, and they're not gonna disappear. But you can recognize, like I tell my new shahadas, a lot of you ask me, Sister Laila, how do I know who to learn from? What are their sources? Are they teaching you from scholarly views? Are they teaching you from fatwa online websites? Or are they teaching you from the Quran and the hadiths with the understanding that those companions had? Are they giving you examples like I give you guys? I'm always giving you sisters examples from Aisha radiallahu anha, telling you what she said it meant, how she understood it to be. That's how you can tell if you're learning the truth. Okay, so today what we're going to do is continue to speak about the strangers. The strangers are those few Muslims of the later generations who experience a lot of challenges in life. They don't seem to fit in anywhere. Those are the women that don't fit in with the women at the mosque. That's why they don't go to the mosque, like Layla. In fact, I had that conversation today. I was out taking care of my business, and I saw one of the sisters from my mosque, and she said, Layla, you don't go out. She said, you know, you right down the street. She said, there's a mosque right down the street from you. She said, it's a nice mosque. She said, the people are not friendly. That's what she told me. She said, the people are not friendly. They're not welcoming. She said, but there's a mosque right down the street from you, and they have a lot of events. I said, when you said they're not welcoming, that's why I don't go. I said, I don't fit in. You know, that's how the strangers are. We don't fit in with other people. We go around other Muslims, you know, and we don't fit in with them. We feel strange. We're not like them. They look at us like we're rough and tough. Because when I speak publicly, I obey my Lord. This is not how I speak if I'm with my family or with a husband or something like that. I would never use such a loud, strong voice with my husband or my grandkids. But I have to obey my Lord. Allah says in the Quran, oh, you women who believe, when you speak publicly, make your voice loud, make your voice intimidating. Because you don't know the evil that lurks in men. And we see it every day here. This website's been around since 1986. Do y'all think this website would be here if I was a soft-spoken woman? My website would have never survived. It's here because Layla's rough and tough. I have to be, because this is my website. I am the main teacher here. I have to be rough and tough. But in my Zoom room, I'm gentle. And when I'm in my Zoom room, kicking it with the old ladies and the kids, y'all see my kids show, I'm nice and sweet. But when I'm here public like this, I got all these brothers in here. 69% of the people watching me now are male. I have to be loud. And I have to be intimidating. And I shall be that way. Till the death. Okay? So, the strangers don't seem to fit in with the Muslims around them. The other Muslims around them look at them like they're strange. They ridicule them. They call them fanatic, crazy, whatever. So, as we talked about yesterday, you know, the strangers, their fitra is awakened. Their fitra is reaching out towards his Lord, and their fitra wants to be around others like it. Others who believe like him, believe like her. And we talked about how the internet, this technology came from Allah, how Allah sent this technology to mankind to help the strangers. The internet didn't exist back in the Prophet ﷺ's time. They didn't have a need for it because his companions, they were a true brotherhood. They were a true sisterhood. So that shows how Allah, it always knows best. How Allah is always in control and in charge here. Allah knew and willed that we would be strange. And we wouldn't be able to fit in with the people at the mosque down the street from us. We wouldn't be able to fit in with the Muslims that's around us. So alhamdulillah, thanks to technology, thanks to the digital world, we can reach out and make those connections with other like-minded people like us. And that's what we're speaking about in this chapter. That's what Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid has put together for us in this chapter. But even still, even though we're allowed to connect and find people like us, nothing is like the physical. There's nothing that can replace being physical with a person. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen for today. Okay. And good. I see the kids are here on Twitch. Yeah. Okay, good. MashaAllah. You got the book? One of the kids here said that they got the book. and they love it. It's a big book. Yes, the pages, this is over 500 pages, guys. All of Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd's book, all the books in this trilogy are over 500 pages. So it's well worth the $19.99. And remember, when you buy the book, what happens? You're keeping the tuition down for SafaUSA.org. And for you parents out there, you shouldn't send your children, to Kaffir schools. Instead, put your kids in the virtual online school that Kareem Abu Zayd has, which is called Safa, SafaUSA.org. The tuition is very cheap. It's just $300 a month. That's cheap. That's cheap. You want to keep it down. So buy the books, because that's where the money goes for, to keep that tuition down. Okay. So I'm glad you got the book. I'm glad you like it. Make sure you have it in your library. Yeah. Okay. So let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And for the kids who are watching, make sure that you have me on the big screen television. And the parents, screenshot my PowerPoint with your cell phone. Okay. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay, so the people in Zoom, y'all can see this, right? Now let me share the screen for the people on YouTube. Okay, good. Y'all don't know, I am so sleepy. I can't see good. Is it there? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right, there it is. Let me make it larger. Hold on. Okay. So for tonight's class, we will be covering, oops, here it is. There it is. I can see now. We'll be covering pages 259 to 261. And we're discussing virtual or tangible. What does that mean? The computer world or the real world. And that's what I was just speaking about. Computer, the virtual computer world versus the physical real world. Let's see what Kareem Abu Zayd has to say. And he starts off by reminding us. He says, in the realm of the virtual world, those of us Muslims who are strangers, those of us who hold on to the teachings of the Quran and the Sunnah with the understanding of those companions, we're the ones that are often, confronted with challenges. And the number one challenge is to find people to support us, who think like us, who believe in the religion like us, and who practice it like us. MashaAllah, guys, you guys witnessed yesterday. Y'all see that my anxiety is at a low today because, alhamdulillah, when I was teaching this class, brothers from all over. I have brothers from the Emirates, brothers from Saudi, brothers from Kuwait, and also America came in here, to let me know that they're here. So if any of those Asharis come in here, they would deal with them. And I was even surprised to see Ferris amongst them. I still shocked at Ferris, alhamdulillah. But anyway, that's the challenge we face as strangers, trying to find Muslims who think like us and practice this religion like we do, free of the watered down crap that exists today, free of the fatwas. Okay? And we go to the masjids where we live, the masajids. The women are not covered. The women have on all that perfume. The women are dressed, but showing their breasts, showing their derrieres. The brothers don't have beards on. And by the way, while I'm mentioning this, there's one brother, I'm going to call you out. Brother Mamet. I don't know where you're from. I think you're Turkish. Brother Mammoth, do not send me any more pictures of yourself because Laila Nasheeba ain't interested. And by the way, Brother Mammoth, you better go grow a beard. Long as you sitting around shaving your beard, Brother Mammoth, you ain't gonna never find a woman. I want you brothers that shave your beards to understand righteous women are for righteous men. Irrighteous women are for irrighteous men. Too many of you Muslims that come from Muslim countries, you're shaving your beards off. A lot of you Egyptian brothers, you shave your beard off. I don't want to hear the lying excuse about because the government is oppressive. The world is oppressive. But because the world is oppressive, you're going to disobey Allah? And then you brothers go so far as to send pictures of yourselves to righteous women. What makes you think a woman like Laila Nasheeba would give the time of day to a man who ain't got a beard? Righteous women are for righteous men. All my husbands had beards. And they didn't wear blue jeans and little shirts either. They wore thobes. They dressed in thobes with kufis on their head, or bushes on their heads, or turbans on their head, or even the hutra. So again, the strangers. Do you think a stranger woman would marry just anybody? Layla's a stranger. Water seeks its own level, brothers. That's for all you brothers out there. And I want you sisters to understand that too. Stop selling yourselves short for these men. You're so desperate to say you got a husband that you'll marry a man who ain't got a beard. If he ain't got a beard, he's letting you know that he openly doesn't fear Allah. Just like a woman that doesn't wear hijab, she's letting you know that she has no fear of Allah. Especially coming from a Muslim country like Turkey, like Egypt. You brothers need to get it together and take Laila Nasheeba off your radar, because you don't qualify to even lick a boot here. Maybe you can go, what's that saying in The Color Purple? Maybe you can go clean out the caboose, but you don't qualify, because righteous women are for righteous men. Don't get it twisted. Hashtag don't get it twisted. And you sending me these ugly pictures of you. Don't get it twisted. Hashtag. Throw that out there, because he's in here right now listening to me. All right. Don't get it twisted. So, the only way that the strangers, can find people like them is to reach out to the internet, because the Muslims around them, don't share their love, their devotion to Allah, their allegiance. And so there's two things that a person can do when your fitra has been awakened, when you're taking this religion seriously, but the Muslims in your community, the Muslims in your vicinity don't take it seriously. You can do one of two things. You can either relocate, move to another area that has more Muslims that do take the religion seriously. But oftentimes we can't do that because that takes money. You got family, relatives. Or the second thing that you can do to connect with people like you is the internet. And that's what most of us are doing nowadays. We're joining chat rooms, Zoom rooms, webinars like this one here, so we can make virtual connections with each other. Because the internet allows us to bridge the geographical distances. But again, nothing replaces the physical world. Like I tell you guys, you want to know how to pray? I can teach you the rules of the prayer. I can teach you the pillars of the prayer, the sunnahs of the prayer. I can even sit here and show you on camera. But you really need to be with a Muslim in person. You need a Muslim to be in person with you, to connect with you, you know, that can show you better and help you with your pronunciation of the Fatiha and all of that. I can do a lecture about the rituals of Hajj, but you need a person to physically connect with you that can really show you. So again, guys, even though the internet allows us to reach out and find people who think like us and practice like us, it still is not enough. We need that physical contact. Besides that too, like we talked about yesterday, we need a friend. What if I'm going through a meltdown? Like I was the other day when those men came into my stream, those Asharis, and I had a meltdown. I needed somebody to hold me. I needed somebody to take my hand and say, Layla, we're here. I'm here. You know, you guys helped me with the voice. And y'all turned on the cameras, the sisters did, and all that. But I needed somebody to hug me, to put their arm around me and tell me it's okay. So in the face of challenges imposed for the strangers, we still need a physical space where we can gather together in person and look each other in the eyes, hold each other's hand as sisters in faith, hug each other and support each other that way. So that's why it's important for us to try to formulate physical gatherings with each other, because the physical gatherings is what helps to build solidarity. Subhanallah, I've been teaching on this internet since 1986. I look at the kids here like Fameh and Habiba and Shamsa and Norto, Aisha, Isra, Faiza. You guys grew up here. You guys have been coming to my classes since y'all was 11 years old. 11 years old. Now you guys, heck, Faiza's in her 30s. Isra's in her 30s. Wasn't nothing like when we finally met. When I met Isra and was able to hug her and hold her, I was like, this is my baby. My baby was a little girl. She was 11 years old. Now she's a grown woman with kids, married with children. That connection, it just brought us even closer together. When I met Norto and saw the beautiful smile from her and Aisha, how they look like twins, was able to hug them and hold them. When I met Layliun, when I met Habiba, when I met Shamsa, when I met all the Layliun sisters who grew up here. Subhanallah, Yasmin, Brother Tarek. That physical contact, guys, we still need that. So don't get it twisted. Hashtag don't get it twisted. I don't want you Muslims to think that just because we got this Zoom room, that this is enough. We have to also reach out and try to make physical connections with each other. That's why I love the fact that, you guys are meeting each other, you're visiting each other. That's why, inshallah, I'm going to try to plan after next week, inshallah, I'm going to try to plan to use my timeshare. I'm going to go out west so I can meet many of you who live out west in Seattle and Vegas and Colorado. Okay? Because this is how we further develop that brotherhood and that sisterhood with each other. When we come together, that's when we can share our experiences on a different level. The internet allows us to be anonymous. But when we meet in person, we can get more personal with each other. And that will cause us to remain connected because we've touched each other's soul. Our souls connected. Remember, guys, the fitra was originally in the soul. And where did Allah keep the soul? He keeps the souls wherever He keeps them, up there with Him. When Allah had the angels blow your soul into your mother's womb, that's when your fitra detached and went to the heart. So, subhanAllah, when we meet in person, our souls connect. Perhaps they were together up there where Allah kept them. I know a lot of you say you've heard of, deja vu. It's like I've known this sister all my life. Perhaps we were friends. Perhaps we were friends before Allah put us in the womb of our mothers. Our souls were together up there, and now they're reconnecting. So again, guys, it's important for us to also make those physical connections with each other. And so now what I'm going to do is give you guys a quiz. And the quiz is going to cover what we discussed today and what we discussed yesterday. First question. It's a question of fiqh. If a person decides to relocate to find other Muslims like himself or herself, what should you consider about where you're moving to? What are some of the things you should consider about the place you're relocating to? Who can answer that? You want to make a connection with Muslims like you. So you hear that there's a lot of Muslims, say, in Dallas, Texas. Before you just jump up and move to Dallas, what should you look into first? Who can answer that? Come on, people.
You look to the community to see if the community, before you just move there, you need to look and see if the community is good. Is they on the Sunnah masjids, the neighborhood, just all around. You have to do your research and make sure that it's all good before you just move yourself and your kids out there.
Exactly. And this is a problem we had here at Sunnah Followers 25 years ago. 25 years ago, when I had all those brothers streaming from Texas here, look at all the sisters and who convinced their husbands to move to Texas. I remember I had sisters that lived in Toronto, and I did tell them, don't leave Toronto. Canada is way advanced over America as far as Islam. And I told them, you live in an Islamic metropolis. You live in an Islamic metropolis. Toronto got more Muslims than America could ever think to have. But she didn't listen. Her fitra was so awakened. She wanted to be a part of one of the imams that spoke here's community. So her husband sold his home, quit his job. They packed up their kids and they moved down there to Texas. And it was the worst thing they ever did because they didn't check it out like I told them. They got there and didn't know that the people were racist because they were Somali, because they were not Arabs. Because they were not from Palestine, they were treated like dirt. They wouldn't even allow her to put her children in the so-called Islamic school because they were black. And they didn't want their Arab daughters around black people. It messed her up. It messed her up. It messed up her children. She eventually ended up going back to Canada, but she had to rebuild because she sold everything. You don't want to be like that, guys. You have to do your research. Remember, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah hates a narrow-minded person. You have to look beneath the surface. America is a racist country. The racism here will never go away. It will always be the racist country in the world. And even the Muslims here are racist. Many of them. So she didn't do her background. She didn't check to see if there were any Somali people in the community. Had she known that there were no Somali people, she probably wouldn't have went there. Had she known that it was all Arabs, she probably wouldn't have went there. So, you know, you got to check that stuff out. And what is the imam about? Just because he gives good lectures on the internet, does that mean that he's upon Quran wa Sunnah? A lot of Mutazilite. There's a lot of Sufis here in America. Even like I tell y'all with my Egyptian people, Sufism is prevalent in North Africa, Morocco, Egypt, and all those places. So you have to do your research. Okay, were there any questions on answers on YouTube, family, before I move to the next one?
Yeah. Brother Murad said, you look at how the community looks, if it's a good area, if it's safe and crime-free. Look at the Muslims who are there, how they dress and act. And Sister Sakina said, if the area has like-minded Muslims, visit before relocating.
Exactly. Good answers, all of you. You want to look to see the crime rate and all of that. And like Sakina said, investigate. You just don't up and jump and move like the sisters did from my website 25 years ago. What about this? When creating an online virtual Islamic community, what should we consider? What are some of the things that we should look into before creating or when creating an online Islamic community like Sunnahfollowers? Who can answer that? What are some things that we should consider when creating an online virtual community? Anyone, go ahead. Come on, guys.
We should add it based on our principles and values.
MashaAllah. Good job. Base it on well or better. Good job, Layla. She got that together. Hello. When you're doing a virtual online community, you got to make sure that it's based upon not only just Quran and the Sunnah, okay, that the teachers, the lecturers are upon that, but also that the adab is correct. The behavior is correct. The mannerisms is correct. You want to make sure that we disassociate from that which we should disassociate from. And we have allegiance, that we try to establish allegiance with each other, regardless of race, regardless of country, because you're going to have Muslims coming in from all over the world. You can't have no racist people sitting in there saying that they don't like people from Germany. And you got 20 people in your online community who are German. Anything else? Good job, lady. Anything else? Any questions on answers on YouTube, family?
No.
Okay. Okay, good job. Let's look at the next question. What about this one? What are some things that an online virtual community cannot do, which proves how we have to have a tangible place to gather and meet? What are some things that we cannot do on the internet that we can do in person? In other words, what are some things that I cannot do online that cannot replace what's done in person? One of them y'all should be able to think of right off your head.
You can't hug each other. You can't go out to dinner. You can't eat with your kids.
Good job. That's the problem. We can't give that physical support. We can't show that physical camaraderie. The children can't even play together. We can't go out and have a cup of coffee together. We can sit here and drink it on the internet, but that ain't the same as laughing and talking and holding hands in the public together. Good job, Mina. What else is it that the online community cannot replace?
AJ said physically meet each other, and Sister Sakina said praying together.
That's the number one. We can't pray together. We cannot pray together. I can stream to you guys the khutbah. I can stream Sheikh Atlee's khutbah to you every Friday, but you cannot pray behind him. It doesn't count. I can stream Dr. Dramali's prayers, but you can't pray with him. You still have to go to the mosque if you are a man to get the reward. So we cannot replace the prayer. Good job, Sakina. What else? Anything else we cannot replace online?
Esther said the physical connection, the physical touch, the physical comfort.
Good job. Good job, Israel. Go ahead, Mina.
I was just going to say just to support.
Exactly.
As far as in coming in and cleaning up if you can't walk or something, or just to have.
Exactly, like Sister Sabrine. If Sister Sabrine is psychosis or something, we can't go in there and clean up her house for her. We can't take her a cup of soup. You know, whenever somebody got sick, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would cook a pot of soup for him. I can't cook a pot of soup. You know, I can DoorDash. I can DoorDash you some soup, but it's still not the same. It's not the same. So as you can see, we still need that physical contact. As human beings, we need that physical contact. That's why it's good to have gatherings like what Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd does for you brothers. Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd travels all around having conferences for you brothers. So you brothers can get to meet him in person, interact with him in person. And that's what I want to do with these sisters. Inshallah, if we start getting the donations right, I would love to, travel and come to your town and just have my gathering with the sisters. No men. No. I won't be at the round table with the men. No. And I don't do no dances. And no private dances either. Okay. But I might bring Brother Mukhtar and Dr. Dramali for the brothers. Laila Nasheeba will kick it with the sisters. The sisters will come and learn from listening to Laila. And then Dramali and Mukhtar will kick it with the men. We'll do something like that. Okay, we have to have that physical contact, guys. Okay, so mashallah, that's what this section of the chapter was about. Are there any questions? Any questions about any of this? Go ahead.
I wanted to say also, Sister Laila, it's important for physical contact in which, funerals. When we have funeral janazas, I mean, so much the internet can do, but it's nothing like being able to pray over your
exactly. And even like this brother here type weddings too. Exactly. You want to kick it with your girls. I mean, we can kick it in the Zoom room, but it ain't the same. Laila likes to get up and, hey, do the cabbage patch with the girls, not no men. Oh, yeah, Laila likes to get live. Y'all know I'm silly. I said, friends, no, hit it. Do the line dance. They still do that. By the way, they still do that line dance, girl. Yeah, do the line dance, sister. She got married. I don't even know if I can still do it. Hey, I'm doing it, Deep Medina. Do the line dance. Ain't nothing like that. That physical contact. Separate away from men. Oh, yeah. You can't replace that type of stuff. The marriages, the funerals, the sickness, visiting the sick. And I mean, we can go live at the hospital like we've been doing, but it ain't the same as being there to hold her hand, to hold Sabrine's hand, to kiss Antar's cheek. We can't do that. So we got to have that physical contact too. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, yeah, the brother here is asking the sign. No, that's tomorrow. He's asking me, am I doing the signs of the last hour tonight? No. At 9, we have what's my class at 9 tonight? Mina. Enjoying it.
Is it?
Enjoying it. Yeah. And I'm gonna use my old PowerPoint. No, that's brotherhood. I gotta enjoying it, I gotta make my PowerPoint. Or I could use my old PowerPoint. Yeah. Yeah, that's enjoying the good and forbidding the evil. Yes, that's at 9 tonight, inshallah. Yeah, Dr. Ali is in Turkey. He's traveling with his family. Inshallah, he'll be back next week. And just to remind everybody, that's normally on Tuesdays. We will have a beginning next week, inshallah, because I think he went out of town. I think he's going to be gone a week. Dr. Ali will be doing his Quran Tafsir class here too. On Tuesdays. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the brother here with the pictures. This is how we deviate away from the Quran and Sunnah. Mm-hmm. Well, this ain't the place to go looking for a wife. No. No. Any man that tries to pick me up on the internet ain't got nothing coming. Water seeks his own level. Mm-hmm. But you got to remember, brother, righteous women for righteous men. Do you honestly think you could see yourself married to me? And I ain't trying to be facetious. I ain't trying to be mean. The truth is a bitter pill for anyone to swallow. Can you see your beardless self with somebody like me? Honestly. Well, keep on. He said that's why he wanted to meet my guardian too. My English ain't good. He say, it don't matter. The answer is no. Lie. This is why you sisters got to be rough and tough on this internet. You don't know who's watching you and what's in their hearts. Hello? You think you could be with this? No. All right. So the next class we have tonight, and just don't send no more than pictures either. The next class we have tonight, because I might embarrass you. The next class we have tonight is at 9 o'clock. My enjoining the good and forbidding the evil class. Make sure you sisters are here. All right. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.